Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. We get together most weekday mornings at 8 o'clock Central to talk about strategies, tips, techniques, share success stories, and support each of you. I have my screen shared. You should be seeing 509pacific.org. And our topic today is on side hustles. And I'm going to be asking you for your input here in a minute. So get prepared to type into the Q&A box. So if you need help navigating, if we go to the main page of 509pacific.org, we have information about our 501c3 and the loan programs, the free credit clinic, the free entrepreneurship program, funding program. We had our first cohort start this yesterday. It was great. If you're not familiar with what we do, is we take folks completely free through a 4-week curriculum and help them understand what it means to have a fundable business. And we had almost, not quite, but almost 4,000 participants in our first cohort, our first group that started yesterday. That'll continue for 3 more Wednesdays at 1:30. But specifically today, we're going to talk about side hustles. So in the Q&A box, I'd like each of you to type in an example of a side hustle, something that maybe you've done or you've seen other people do to earn extra income. So side hustles normally aren't our primary career, but it's something that we do extra to earn income. Can anyone think of some common side hustles in our society that maybe you've seen or experienced? All right, Eric mentions driving Uber or Lyft. So that's a great example, Eric. So some individuals need to earn extra income. And if they have a car that I guess meets whatever criteria needs to be met, you can sign up with Uber or Lyft. You get the app. You can open up for being available. And then you can pick up driving engagements whereby you're paid. So that's a great example of a side gig. Frederick mentions Amazon FBA freight dispatching. I'm less familiar with that, but okay, that's fine. I guess similar to the Uber and Lyft, there's also food delivery like Dash and I guess Uber Eats. So there's different types of side hustles that exist. I guess the first side hustle that I ever had, I was a full-time high school teacher. That wasn't a side hustle, but teachers don't make much. And so I needed extra income to support my family. And so I started teaching GED courses through a local college. They paid me a big whopping $25 an hour to go once a week. And I would teach it was 3 or 4 hour class teaching GED skills so those individuals could get a GED that didn't have a high school diploma. So there's lots of different side hustles. One of the things that we wanted to accomplish with our 501c3, 509 Pacific, is to provide a legitimate side hustle for individuals that need to earn more money. And we'll talk about why they might want to earn more money in a moment. But we believe that a side hustle should not have any upfront cost. And so that's an important element that we've incorporated, because if someone's a little bit tight on money to start with, asking them to spend money, as they would call pay to play, is a bit inconsistent with that. So through the nonprofit, we launched what we call the white label partner as a side hustle. Most white label partners are spending about an hour a week. And we know that white label partners earn right about $11,000 for each person that they refer in. So that's where the math comes from. It's not get rich quick. It's not the type of money that most of you are already earning, but it's a side gig. It's a side hustle. It's a side income. And if an extra $11,000 a week, $44,000 a month would help you, then you might want to consider being a white label partner. As far as why people might want to be a white label partner as a side hustle, I'm going to go back to some of the academics. Let's go back over to our entrepreneurship program that we teach, and this is completely free. And in week 3, we teach about the 3 C's. So this is important because a lot of people want money, a lot of people need money to start or grow a business, but a lot of people don't know what it means to be fundable. And that's a big part of what you and I do. And so part of week 3, we teach the 3 C's. Credit, so we help people build their business credit. Collateral, we help people have enough collateral on their balance sheet and have a balance sheet to qualify for funding. But what we're talking about right now is more regarding the 3rd C, capacity. Capacity can also be referred to as cash flow. So let's go back to where we were. When we're working with clients, sometimes they come to us and what they want for funding, the amount of funding that they want and what the repayment terms would be exceeds what they can afford. So now we have a problem. They want a big loan, but they can't afford a big loan payment. So this is one way that we can help absorb that by adding a new revenue stream. Now they have additional cash flow that we can show is real. It's going into their bank account. It's on their bank statements. It's on their P&L, their profit and loss. And that allows them to be able to qualify for larger funding amounts. So when we first put this side hustle together, if you will, certainly it helps us. It helps us get the word out. Let's take Mr. Barker, who's not on this morning. Unfortunately, I talked to him earlier. Mr. Barker is focused on, and he's brought 3 clients in so far this week. So 3 actually yesterday. So he's already on track for 44,000 this month. He's 3/4 of the way there, but that's not why I bring Mr. Barker up. Mr. Barker is focused on reaching out to faith-based leaders, bishops, pastors, depending upon the type of religious affiliation, and helping set up our workshops. And you might say, well, how does that work? That's actually this tab here. If you click on this, it'll bring up a training video about how we work with churches and chambers and other key influencers. Of course, it's going to give me
hard work.
It's going to give me an advertisement first. So let's
lighten your load. Ready refresh.
Turn the sound off, get through the advertisement. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then if you click on that, then that will bring up the training that we did on how we can help you develop a co-branded press release to be able to go out to key influencers. So going back to our page. So why are we doing this? Number 1, we want to help clients become more fundable. Number 2, we want to work strategically and collaboratively with those of you that want to help spread the word. We're going out educating. Our focus is on building financial literacy and increasing access to capital. And then in how we educate, that's the page I was on before. So we set up these workshops, typically virtually, Zoom-based. And so for each of you that want to be a white label partner, we can set up 1 or more of these workshops and you feed your prospects into the workshops. Now, you're not needing to pay anything for this, nor do they pay anything for this. So we actually teach them these skills. And from that, many of them will engage in the 4-week funding program. When they engage in the 4-week funding program, you make $1,000 up front. So it's not get rich quick. It's not like winning the lottery, but you make $1,000 up front as a white label partner. And then you also make a performance fee off of the client's capital raise. And actually you get to determine what that performance fee is, but most of you are going with a 10% performance fee as far as your income. So that's where the 11,000 comes from. It's not too good to be true. It's not crazy math. It's 1,000 up front. So Mr. Barker made 3,000 yesterday. That's a factual statement. And then as the clients go through the 4-week process, which we just looked at a moment ago, then we get them funded. They're guaranteed a minimum of $100,000 of funding. From that, they do pay a performance fee. And then that performance fee is a revenue stream to the white label partner. So that's where the 11,000 comes from. 1,000 up front. and then normally 10% of the $100,000 capital raise. One of the things that Mr. Barker and I were talking about this morning that you might want to consider too is, let's say that you're wanting to go out, let's go back over to the YouTube video here, and let's say that you're wanting to go out and work with accountants or bookkeepers or faith-based leaders to set up the workshops that we just talked about. It would make sense to generate revenue for them so they have an opportunity to recognize a new income stream to their church or chamber or what have you, as well as helping their sphere of influence. And so that's one of the things Mr. Barker was looking at doing, was actually increasing the pricing to the participant, allowing a greater revenue share. But we'll work with you on that. So our goal today is to introduce you to the new page on 509pacific.org called White Label Partner. We wanted to make it real simple. If you're someone that's looking for extra income, but you don't want to buy in, you don't want MLM or network market, you don't want something where you have to have an expense, you can become a white label partner. Over here under Get Started Today, there's a link. You click this and it'll pop up. And slowly but surely, it'll bring the enrollment agreement so you can enroll. And there's no upfront cost, so that's not a barrier. What will happen after you fill that out is that it'll come into us, we'll countersign it, or what they say, execute it, and then pretty shortly thereafter, you're going to receive a white label partner onboarding email. And the white label partner onboarding email has 4 or 5 important training videos that we'd like you to watch. So within 2 to 3 hours, you can get the prep work done. And it also includes 2 editable Word documents, one of which is an editable version of, well, not of this, but similar to this, of the client participation agreement. So this is how we produce it, but you would have a Word document. You would remove our information and put yours on it, because the concept of a white label partner is one whereby you're going out under your branding and you control pricing. So 2 editable documents. You'll get an editable copy of the press release, which is shown here. So you can remove our information and put your information on it, and an editable version of the client agreement. With that, when we say that you'll be ready to start making money in 24 hours, that's true. That's true. Within 1 day, you should be able to simply edit the Word documents, upload it into Adobe or DocuSign or whatever e-signature you want, and we're open for business. So who has questions? Any questions? A fair question. What do you need to know about either how to become a white label partner, or how it works, or how you get paid? What can I do? And so, yes, I see the first question from Timothy here. So under this first column, if you go to this tab, it has a training that we recommend that you watch that really gets you oriented to what white label partners do and the role. So that is right here. So what we're wanting to do is work with educated participants. We're not asking you to pay anything. But if you follow column 1, you'll watch this training that I just popped up there that'll help you understand the role of the white label partner. So there's that. And then if you click on this, it'll help you get oriented to how we educate people, which is actually another page on the website, the entrepreneurship. And you're welcome to go through the free class as well. And then the third tab is learning about the press release and how we use that to attract large groups. And that is a training video that I showed you here. And then if it all makes sense to you and you want to participate, you'd like to work with us as a side hustle, then you come right over here, you click this, it'll pop up the agreement and you can enroll. So who has questions, comments, or concerns? We've tried to make it as simple as it can be. And I think it's more profitable than probably what you would recognize with the other side gigs we've talked about. We've talked about Uber and Lyft and DoorDash. Bill was talking about mail escorts. Yeah, so a lot of you have some interesting side gigs. But regardless of that, it's a great way to help people We focus on educating and building financial literacy. And again, I know that you are a high income earner, or should be. So an extra 44,000 a month isn't maybe going to be life-changing for you, but it's a good side hustle. It's a good side income, I would think, especially recognizing that we do all the implementation. What's really important to understand as a white label partner, the training is simple and brief because we're your back office. We're your administrative office. We do the implementation. So you're bringing the clients in, they're paying you, we do all the work. It's great. It's great. So who has any questions? We got a big group, 520 of you on. So that's one of the largest groups we've had in a while. So Bernard, Bill, Charles, Dorothea, Eric, Ernest, Frederick. Ernest is an example. He just came aboard yesterday as a white label partner. So welcome aboard, Ernest. And so Ernest, you're at that 24-hour mark now, I believe. So we should be out enrolling clients today, Ernest. We should be today turning on the income spigot for you. And if not, you need to let us know why not. Justin's another example, unless I'm mistaken. I remember you and I talking, Justin, but I think you did sign up yesterday as a white label partner. If not, forgive me, maybe you can do that today. But Justin, you're another person that's on that 24-hour boundary right now. So today we should be enrolling clients. Justin, I think, Justin, you said yesterday you had 2 or 3 ready to enroll. So that's great. We have some of you that have been with us for a while and you're not producing, you're not making any money. And if that's the case, reach out to us and let us know why. Where is the problem? Is it that you don't know how to edit the Word document, which is the client agreement? It looks like this. This is the agreement for you, but the client agreement looks similar. Or is it that you don't know how to use Adobe or DocuSign? If the issue is leads, my goodness, we are inundated, absolutely inundated with leads, with people that are contacting us just from the workshops alone. Going back over to the workshop page, this is a great way to build leads, right? Because when you go to the marketplace and you educate people, that you develop trust and relevance. And so what we have experienced so far is about 90 to 91% of the people that go through the free educational curriculum will actually enroll in the fee-based 4-week funding, which is what you're able to monetize. Justin's asking a good question about the dollars and cents. So that's a great point. So let's go back to the white label partner page. So as a white label partner, you determine client pricing because we're going to give you an editable version of the client agreement. And so most of you are going with a $2,000 refundable deposit for when a client enrolls into the implementation part. So don't confuse the education, which is 100% free. This is free, no charge, no money, free. But if they want to work with us on the implementation side, which most of them do, as I stated, most of you are charging $2,000, but you could charge more. And then we split that 50-50, Justin. So that's answering your question. So you would make $1,000 up front for developing. And so in other words, you've educated the client, you brought the client to the table. We'll do all the fulfillment. We split it 50-50. So that works perfectly well. So Justin, hopefully that answered your question. Frederick asked, is there a monthly quota for white label partners? No, there is not. In the past, we've evolved. We've been at this. We started this whole initiative in a broad sense, May 11th of 1996. So like most organizations, take Apple and the iPhone, right? They've gone through all these different iterations of the iPhone. So we've been around a long time, and so we've gone through different iterations, and we want to figure out what works, do more of that, what doesn't work so well, and stop doing that or do less of it. So the white label partners, Frederick, do not have production requirements. Now, certainly we want you to come aboard and get your first client and get paid quickly, because if you don't do that, you'll probably get distracted and you'll end up driving Uber again. But what we do not want you to feel pressure. So no, there are not performance requirements as a white label partner any longer. And then Justin's asking, okay, so once you let's go back to Mr. Barker. He is on, I noticed now. So Mr. Barker signed 3 clients yesterday. That's a fact. 3 clients paid him. That's a fact. So then what Mr. Barker did is he got 3 clients to sign the contract using the editable template we provided him, and he's done that. That's a fact. So then what we do is we set up a shared portal, a Dropbox portal. And so then whether it be you, Justin, which this is your question, or Mr. Barker from yesterday, then you'll upload those executed client agreements into the Dropbox folder. And that lets us know that you're ready for us to implement those clients. And then we take care of the implementation. We'll copy you on the communication so you're in the loop. But we wanted to keep this simple, right? If we needed to train you how to do everything, that would probably be about a 6-month training, and it would have to cost a lot of money because it would take a lot of time to do that. But what we've evolved to is let's keep it simple. You don't have to pay anything, so that's not a problem. It's real simple to become a white label partner. You're focused on outreach and client enrollment. We do the fulfillment. So the short answer, Justin, is we do a 50-50 split. You get the clients under contract. Yes, you'll upload them in a Dropbox. Now, if you say, uh-oh, I don't have a Dropbox. Well, once you have your first client, then we'll set up a Dropbox. There's really no reason to create a Dropbox if you don't have a client file to put in there. So let us know when you have your first client file, just like Mr. Barker did yesterday. He said, I don't have 1, I don't have 2, I have 3 people that have signed up and paid. Well, great. So then we set up his Dropbox. And within 24 hours, then we should be implementing those clients and copying you on that communication so you know we're your back office. Other questions, comments, concerns about the side hustle, which isn't a negative term, that's common in our industry. You could call it a side income if you want, because I know many of you have dreams and passions and you want to pursue that. So we don't want to get in your way of that, but it's okay to have a bit of a diversification of income, different ways that you're making money, especially if this can allow you to start making a decent, not lottery type money, but decent income quickly. That is good because maybe this will complement what's taking longer for your primary business. And then also this helps if you are pursuing funding. This statistically and certainly helps your business become more fundable because many lenders like to see cash flow coming in before they loan, not all, but many. And many of them like to see multiple deposits in a month, not meaning you putting money into your business, that's called an equity contribution, but actually that your business has clients and generating income. So we're not cheating the system, but we're playing within the rules to help clients become more fundable more quickly by offering the side hustle, which does not cost them anything up front, and they earn a decent side income. Any other questions anyone has for me today? Again, if you need to reach out to us, you can email support@509pacific.org. I'd recommend calling for a more immediate response. We're here to help. We're having great success with clients, client education, client enrollment, client funding. Let us know what we can do to get you plugged in so you can benefit from this fast growing industry of financial literacy and access to capital. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow morning. Let us know how we can help. Bye-bye.